Hello there. We're live, and an hour later than I actually thought we would be. Stupidly, I got a bit too excited on Steam, where you have a countdown timer for special products and that. I was looking at when the game would release and the time on that. When I looked, it said 4 hours to go, and I completely forgot that at 4 hours it jumps to less than 1 hour to go, adding an extra hour. And unfortunately, I've just started the live stream and it looks as though nope, it's actually unpacking the game. So we've gone from live and it's sorting itself out. Now I do actually have this on an SSD, so it shouldn't take that long. To be honest, I wasn't expecting this. It's coming up at, well, it's Steam time, 24 minutes remaining. Certainly you don't want to sit here for 20 odd minutes waiting for this to undo. I've got to be honest, I'm flagging. I've been up since 6 o'clock this morning. But we will be bringing Project Cars to you tonight. So, I think what we're going to have to do is come back to this, because I wasn't expecting it to take this long to sort itself out, to be fair. We're still in the 18 to 20 minutes mark. We're getting quite some usage on the disc. If I do sound like I've got a bit of a funny list today, I bit my tongue earlier, getting a bit too excited, eating my tea. Come on, this is an SSD we're unpacking from, and it's a decent processor, so it really should be a bit quicker than this. I was just going to say thank you very much to Jay's 2 cents for entertaining me the last hour. After finding out there was another hour to go, I've been watching your videos. Yeah, the pro that you are, keep them up. It's good stuff. Come on, we're dropping down to 15 minutes. If you do end up watching this tomorrow, just skip forward, because if this is right, it's still taking some time to sort itself out, unpacking. Why could have done this before? If anyone from Steam watches this, can we get this sorted out? Because it's preloaded, so surely it should have sorted itself out on the disc. We are down to 13 minutes now. When the game starts up, I'm going to go through the mundane but very, very important of setting the wheel up correctly, mapping the buttons and that. Once it's done, you shouldn't have to touch it again, but it's important to try and get that right. Obviously, coming from a console-y racing background, it's something I'd never had to do before, so I played mostly with the pads, and when I first come to doing it I didn't quite understand what it was asking me. I'll go through that in a second, but it's very, very important to get your wheel set up correctly, because you've got to get the correct rotation and everything. The Logitech G27 wheel that I use was going to have 900 degrees of rotation. Pardon me, that will give you the best, I suppose the best steering setup in the game. Some of the other cars you could use less, for example like F1 cars and that, they have a much smaller steering rack. As I remember, I think the game compensates for that, or this, I should say. This one of my issues at the minute. Do you call Project Cars 2 a game or a sim? To me it's a simulator, but it's referred to in the gaming world as a game. It's classed as a game, but it's not a game as such. It's a simulator. So when I say game, I always think to myself, it doesn't sound right. I shouldn't be calling this a game because it's more than a game. But okay, well, 12 minutes, 11 minutes, come on. I'd hate to be having to do this on a slower PC. No disrespect to anyone who does have a slower PC, but we need to be doing this now. If I tell you, I've got to say, people, if we get to the point of doing this, and then it throws in a first day patch, I'm going to have to call this quits here. So I'm just going to go to bed, and I'll be up tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to be bringing you some more live stream videos. Tonight I just want to basically just have a little general mooch around, do some AI racing, maybe try and get some records up on the hot lap times. You've got to ask yourself, are you a hot lapper or are you a racer? I'm more a hot lapper than a racer. I really enjoy hot lapping. It's a challenge against yourself. Not only that, you can place your skill level within the community. During testing phases, there have been tests done, and I've dropped in the top 20 or 30 people. I want to break the top 10. And when in Project Cars 1, I did set some fast times, some top times. But to be honest, not that many people played. I prefer to play with the road cars and generally the lower powered race cars. And from the reviews I've been watching online and reading, people have said that Project Cars 2 has really captured the road or supercars, performance cars, very, very well. I don't believe or trust all the reviews I've read or what I've watched online, but then again, I haven't had a great deal of experience with the racing cars, so perhaps that's something I need to try more. Project Cars, when I played that, I used to use it as more of a sandbox. One thing that you may maybe not appreciate coming from the Forza world is that, and it's quite funny, someone I work with happened to get into a conversation about racing games, and he has an Xbox and he'd recently got Forza 5 for free, and he's getting into it, and I says, oh, how do you play it? Do you play it with the assists on? Do you have the racing line? And he basically had everything on, and he said it was good, but you know, I said, well, turn all that off, learn to drive the game without the racing line, without braking assist, without steering assist. All that's taking away the playing experience from you. And he said something to me that really reminded me of the Forza days. He says, oh, I haven't spent any money that I've earned so far. I've been saving it all up. I've been saving it basically for a car that I really like the look of. And that's the one thing about Project Cars. There is no grinding. There is no earning credits and having to work months and months and months to get to a car that you put it on and you can do whatever you want. You can play career. Obviously career, there's a path, you have to go through it. But for anything else, you can set a game up. It's almost like a little sandbox environment. You've got the live track free. You can play with what car you want, with what weather you want, and what track you want. When I first came into Project Cars world, I was completely lost. I was sat with the game. I got to it. What am I meant to do with this? So, you know, what do I do? Forzas, the Gran Turismos, they guide you down a path, a grinding path, and they give you something to do. But what you'll find with this simulator, once you get into it, once you start getting a feel for the cars and trying different cars and different tracks, once your skill improves, the rewards massively outweigh anything I've played before. And not only that, the wheel, if you're going to play a game like this, and I don't preach and say you have to, but you're going to get more interactivity with the wheel and pedals than you are a keyboard or a controller. Not saying that you can't play with a controller or keyboard and be good. I mean, some of the top people play with controllers, and some people are very, very good with them, but it's just not the same experience. I don't do VR yet. I'm still waiting for second gen headsets, but when they do come out, I want to go for it. I want a wireless headset for sure, because to me, you're not going to get any better experience with Project Cars than in VR on a steering wheel. Okay, 7 minutes to go. Cannot believe we're having to wait so long for this to do, but this is PC gaming. Hopefully we'll drop in 6 minutes. I've done quite a good fill, I thought, considering this is my third live stream now. The other's been a test, but this is the first one that I've done properly. I just hope my driving lives up to the standards I can deliver, not all the time though. And I am tired. Really, I should have had a nap or something earlier, but I've been dodging in and out the forums, looking at things, doing stuff, watching videos, basically waiting the last couple of hours just to potentially be playing Project Cars, but we're 12 minutes in and we're still waiting. Come on. I'm just going to look on the feed a minute, because obviously I'm only capturing the game screen. If I scroll up, I'm just wondering what you can actually see. So yeah, so you're only going to be able to see me at the minute. So we did have someone pop in, but they've gone back out. And to be honest, I don't blame you, because at the minute there is no Project Cars 2. So we're 13 minutes in and we're still waiting. I could have started the stream a little bit later, but we're already way overrun. So if you're watching this tomorrow, skip to like at least 15 minutes in, unless you want to listen to me chatting away, of course. So we've still got 5 minutes unpacking. Disk activity is quite high. It's blasting through it. I suppose it's sorting all the file structure out, setting all the files into what they should be. But again, Steam, way ahead of any other, I think, Origin, Uplay, definitely better than Microsoft. But the fact it's preloaded, why doesn't it do this before, so that we can get playing from the minute it goes live? So this is very, very, very frustrating. Come on, 4 minutes, we can do this. So, for the people who asked for videos before and we never actually got the chance to do them, I think one of the first things I'm going to do one of the RX cars on Nord's Chiefs. I know that's been asked for. It'd be interesting to know, are you playing tonight? Did you already purchase? Are you in the same boat as me, as waiting for the game to unpack? Oh, it's going up now. No, we dropped. We went to 6 minutes. We dropped to 2. Come on, SSD power. Yep. So anyway, I'm going to be driving the RX cars. I really fancy. We'll get a race car on. Something Japanese. Something like a Japanese track. So we could have a look at that. I only wanted to do an hour tonight. We'll see what we can fit in, and I will be back tomorrow. and the live stream won't be me sat here with you looking at a blank screen with me in the bottom corner. Oh, we're back to 2 people watching. So 2 minutes, come on, 1 minute. Suppose this is the sort of time when you start. Does anyone know any good jokes? Can't say I'm brilliant with jokes. I always like it when people tell them to me, but I never remember them properly. So I haven't really got anything that I can be throwing out to you at the second. Come on, 1 minute. It'd be worth the wait. It's only been about 2 weeks. No, actually it's only been 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks since I haven't been able to access it, but I think it's got to have been about a month now since I played Project Cars 2. So, 50 seconds, 40 seconds, we're nearly there, nearly got something to show you. Yeah, so it's been about a month since I've played, so I'm really looking forward to this. Out of all the sims out there, iRacing, good at what it does, but you have to schedule your time to it. You've got to, you know, take it very seriously. Assetto Corsa, fantastic. I would have said on par with Project Cars. I've not put enough time into it to get a real feel for it, but that reason was Project Cars and Assetto Corsa. As soon as I got to play Project Cars 2, I put them both down. Neither of them felt as good as Project Cars 2. Oh, you are kidding me. Come on. Right, we're done. Right, let's play. Let's go. And we're in. There we go. Yes. Back to the... Right, so, I've got to set the wheel up. We've got to get the graphics set up as well. So there's a few little bits and pieces to do before we can get going. I always think when this loads up, why haven't we got any sound, but it's, yeah, it's coming in there. I'll leave this running for a second if you've not actually seen this before. I'm sure you have, but we'll let this run through. And just while it's doing that, I just want to scroll up to this. Let's just... Yeah. Be a frame locked to 50 frames per second in a minute because I've not to say anything as yet. Enough of that.
Welcome to Project Cars 2. You're about to embark on the ultimate driver journey. This is Race Central, where you'll manage your racing career, create and enter both single-player and multiplayer events, get involved with the community and...
But we've heard enough of that. What we need to do, go into the options. Controls, first thing we're going to set up. So we've got wheel, we've got Logitech G27, separate pedals. I don't want an automatic clutch on, gearing manual, inverted gearing, no. Right, configuration, we're going to leave that alone. Control scheme. Right, edit assignments. So on the vehicle, start the engine. I'm just going to map that. That's engine start. Sorry, ignition we're going to do for that. Engine start we're going to do for that. Headlights, I'm going to go for the end one. The windscreen wipers going to map to that. DRS, to that button. I'll put that up. Cars, I want on that one. DRS, I'm going to put on that button. Force feedback. Flag, we're going to have informative. Configuration. Control scheme. Now, what I was expecting to do is to actually set the wheel up. We'll stick with that for a minute. Let's go to so I want that 90 minutes. Window no, white seems to jump on it. Shadow detail. Let's get that on ultra. Hunt's mirror no. Motion blur. I'm gonna have that on low.
About 30 seconds till we go. Let's go. Get ready.
There we go. This is where I've got my mouse. Right, detail grass, we're going to leave on low. Particle level, we're going to whack that to high. Particle density, high, ultra, high, low. Frames head, motion blur, low. Enhanced mirror, low, ultra. Okay, I think we may have to restart the game. Yep. So, I'm just going to come out and then we'll come back in. Go then. Right, just waiting for it to load back up. I don't know if I've missed the calibration of the wheel. I can't actually remember. I'm sure I calibrated before, unless in the final retail you don't actually have to calibrate the wheel. I would have thought you had to. We'll soon find out. Right, so let's just have a look at the options again. So maybe I'm missing something. Let's just give it a try and let's see what happens. So if we go into quick play, let's just do private testing. Let's get one of the...
Here's where you choose which car you want to drive.
Let's get one of the RX cars. Let's go with the RX lights.
Here's where you choose which track.
Something out about Greek. Select that. This is where you can change the time of day, what time the session starts. So we're going to have to start that at 10 in the morning. Time progression, we're going to put real time. Seasonal item, weather slots one, we're just going to leave it clear for now if we save that. Let's start that and let's see how we get on with this.
Ollie, you go green this time. Lights are out on the safety car. Guy in front of us there helped him cause the caution. Big area for that guy.
Oh, I like that. I don't know if it did it before. And it all loaded.
It's race time. As you look around the pre-race menu, you'll see a list of all the
Right,
practice is about getting to know your car and getting to know the track.
let's just start. Sorry, I was looking up there, but we seem to be frame locked at 50 frames per second. Now I've got VSync on, but we should. Let's just check back at something a minute. We'll just come out of that. Let's have a quick look at the graphics options.
Ollie, you go green this time.
Let's take VSync off. Should be getting higher than that. Well, we'll try that again. We'll see if the frame rate goes up. If not, I might have to look into that. Right, that seems a bit better. Right. Let's do it properly this time. Right there. Obviously, this is an RX car. We're going to do this on the top screen. So the 4-speed back seems like a whole lot better than it was before. I'll wait till we get back up onto the top of the hill before we quit out of it, and then we'll move on to something else. How weird is it that you're doing 100 miles an hour and it just feels slow? So there you go, one of the Rally X Lights cars on the Nordschleife. Let's exit that. So it can be done. I couldn't say it was that exciting, but it's never going to be a car that's geared to do 115 miles an hour, was it? Let's come back. What I'm interested in. We go community events. Do we have
Community events are similar to
Right, so we've got a Project Cars 2 launch event 1 and Circuit of the Americas, it's Indy Cars. Unleash the Caterham's latest track weapon around an iconic British circuit. So Knockhill International, I think we could have a crack at that, see where we come in. Let's give this a try. So I do like the time trials. Now the Caterham is a bit of a handful, it's got to be said. But I do like this track. It's a really short, cool track to play. I didn't look to see if tuning was restart. If you're doing time trials and you go off, you can go around again. I always like to restart. You find that as you transition between cars, you will have to do a couple of laps to work into it. to work each lap. So we'll exit that, see where we sit. Third. Quite far behind there, 2 seconds off. What I want to do, we'll give that another go. What you can do, if you click on, have we not got ghosts on that? Can I not race myself? No, it won't let me have myself as a ghost, okay. No, I'm not going to do that. Let's just start again. I think what you've got to do with this car is speed. But not spin it round as you do. When I get into that situation, I just restart. Some people say you should stick at it because really you're undoing your flow. It's how I've always done it. say, the handling, this is way better than any of the builds I've played before. So much better. Right, I'm gonna have one last try at this and then we'll do a race or something, we'll do something else. Because I am going to get to bed in a bit. Too much. One last draw. It's so addictive this is. Once I get into these time trials I'll be like doing this for hours. Back wheels up there. Right, one last try. Try a race. now. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm definitely going to pick that up again tomorrow because that is cool. I really like that. So we'll exit that 55 something. I don't think we're any faster then. We're fifth. We really need to work on that. So let's do a quick custom race.
This is where you can either select a...
Okay. So let's go for Sugo. And the car I'm gonna want Nissan. Let's go with this. So,
Opponent settings is where you...
right, we're going to put the skill level up to about 77. We're going to leave 60. 15 opponents. Yeah, we'll have it identical. Save that. What we got? 10 laps. Standing start. Practice. We'll get some qualifying going.
Session settings is where you can either enable...
Qualifying is on. And we'll do 10 minutes.
Race settings is where...
Let's do 2 o'clock start. Time progression is real time. Spring. Let's do sunny. We'll do cloud, and we'll end with a bit of rain, I think. Okay. Mandatory pit stop. No. Formation. No. Let's fly through that. Let's give this a go. I think at the moment, maybe on Project Cars 1 with this type of wheel setup, so with a H shifter, depending on the vehicle, you'd either use the flappy paddles or the gearbox. At the moment, I think you can use both.
Qualifying determines your placement on the starting grid for the race.
Sorry, Ben, I don't want to
The pit box main menu is where...
I'll try and keep it authentic. So,
Go, go, go!
Save this for clutch and gearbox. So I've already just dropped it into second. Back into the pits, to return to the pit box. Alright, let's try.
Go, go, go!
Something's doing something right with the steering now, to be honest. Let's try again. seems like an old race. I'm not really expecting that, to be honest. Something's really wrong with this right BIOS or what, I don't know, but I don't know if you saw that there. That's really cool. I was just looking on the track surface. I need to I can't drive this car. That's just not right. That's it, it reset it. That's the right voice. Oh, what is it? That's rear. That's front. That's pretty even. Right, 50%. Let's try that again. Let's try it again.
Go, go, go!
That's a lot better already. Anything fast, speed round if it's on brakes. I just only went slightly near the throttle there. Touching the brake, but we'll just be following this, right? Very surprised. This is strange. I've never ever experienced anything like that before. Right, we're running out of time. Save that. Save that. It's the steering. Let's go back.
Go, go, go!
I cannot believe how bad this car is. It's like a right old dog. I don't get this car. I mean, I couldn't even set a lap in it, that's strange. I really we need to do some additional tuning or what to that. I don't understand that. Let's just continue. Let's see if we can get round the lap. We should have warm tyres for the start of the race. I want to run actually over it. Just see some nice about 8.
That's your best Sector 2 time so far today. Great stuff.
I don't know whether anyone can explain how I become first. Still trying to work that out myself.
expecting some light drizzle any minute now, but we'll keep you posted.
Probably down this car is I've done so honestly it's like it's so no grip like an old March, which I'm surprised for racing. But trust me when I say this is far harder than it looks. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm the best sim racing driver. I'm not bad. I can get round the track, but this seems to be alright, hold on. People watching, I don't know what the hell you must I suppose reading should pick for that tires, but that's Is the game already out? Should drive the F-150, drive that. Yeah, the game is already out, it's out now. Whether you're still watching, Rich, if that's you watching. Yeah, I'll have a look at the F-150, definitely. We'll have a quick look on an RX track. Sorry, I need to quit that. And what we're going to do as well, we're going to have a quick look in the graphics, because when I was testing this, I never had frame rates this low, so that's quite interesting. Let's go back to the options. Let's have a look. Anti-stroke at 16, VC low, so high reflection, ultra volume back, high car detail, ultra track deal, ultra big crew, shadow detail, suspension blur, we can even turn that off. Might help, frames ahead, detail was low, put that to high, let's have ultra. See if that makes much difference. Let's do quick play then. Let's do custom race. That would be the Ford. Yeah, there you go. Right, select that. Let's go with Living Hill. There we go. We'll give it that. Let's do.
I'll let you go green this time. Lights are out on the safety car. Guy in front of us there helping cause the caution.
Right. Let's start this.
That's your best so far. fastest second sector. Great driving, mate. Squeezing past when you can.
Something I noticed in that the frame rates are dropping really super low, so I'm just going to go back a sec. Don't really want to plan. I just want to try the options once more.
Greatest and most challenging race circuit in the world, with the greatest drivers and racing drivers and racing cars in the world. Jackie Stewart said yesterday that he regarded as far the greatest challenge when he was racing, and he had great success here.
just for a test. I want to try that again. Quite enjoyed that until I completely fluffed it up. Alright, I'm going to make this the last race. I can't believe I'm in 2 hours. And I'll pick this up again in the morning.
Keep an eye on the lights, watch
So
out for
let's
wheel
see.
spins, and let's nail this start.
Let's see if we can get this.
That's the fastest sector time. That's your fastest second sector so far. Keep it up. That's a new fastest lap of the race. Brilliant. Nice one. That's the fastest first sector. lap of the race. Good job. Pile on the pressure. Come on, keep at him. You're going to get past him. Well done. That's second place. Keep digging. Like your style, keep pushing. Driving. See you on the podium.
Nice, I'll take second. I like that. Right, still think the frame strapping that way is really weird. Well, for anyone who did tune in, thank you for watching. I'm going to leave it at that. So I'm really tired. I think you can hear by my voice, a bit croaky as well. Alright, thank you very much for watching, and if you want to join in tomorrow, I'll have a play with the settings in the morning and see what I can work out. I'll have a word on the forums as well. So I'm surprised I'm dropping to 40 frames per second, but I've got to say, from the beta, improvements are like gone through the roof. It is a much better game. Bit of an odd thing with the Nissan, I don't know what was going on with that, whether it was just doggy, the cold tyres, but as you can see I really struggled with it. Yeah, I need to put a bit more effort in, a few more hours. Definitely back on that time trial, so I really enjoyed that. But I'm surprised at that. So far so good though. Scratch the surface. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.